Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm St. F. Carlisle have beaten Reading 3-2 away from home in a game that showcases just how magic the FA Cup can be. And also how magic a player like Rean Linney can be in a game like this. Look, to be completely transparent, the game wasn't shown on anything. There was no way of watching the game without going to it. I couldn't make it down to Reading on the day, so I haven't watched the game. I've seen the highlights and I listened to it on the day. And to make a confession, my brother's back. Goes to uni elsewhere, so we kind of went out to see my brother while he's back in town. And I had the game in my earphones. Going into the last 10 minutes of the game, it was 2-0. We didn't really look like we were doing much. So I just knocked it off. I decided I'll stop being antisocial. I'll knock it off and go and do something else. I can't watch it. Chris Lumsden isn't on the radio anymore. I thought I'll stop listening to it. I looked at my phone about 10 minutes later, and Rean Linney just equalised for for Carlisle. So I immediately put the radio back on my phone, put my earphones back in, and continued to be incredibly antisocial and listen to the Carlisle match instead. But it just shows you never give up like that. Never leave a stadium early, never stop watching a game early, never stop listening to a game early in my case. But yeah, look, I can't really comment too much on how well we played in the first half or all in the match, really. I can't really comment on individual players because, again, I didn't watch it. But I think this game's a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger than individual player performances. Look, we didn't put our strongest team out. Obviously, Rean Linney didn't even start. We swapped the goalkeepers. Harry Lewis played. I can't really comment on how he played because I wasn't really there, but apparently he made a couple of good saves. It's always nice to have a decent backup keeper. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm massively happy that he played the game or anything like that, but it obviously didn't do us too much damage, so it's nice to see us kind of get away with that one. But yeah, look, really great performance, a really great result at the very least. I can't really. If I'm a Reading fan going out of that game, if I'm a Reading fan, and to be honest with you, I bet there'll be one or two Reading fans that left that game early, thinking, "Oh, it's done and dusted. I'll go and get me car out before everyone, before the big rush after the game. I'll go and drive home early." Got back in the car, knocked the radio on, and thought, "Oh my god, I need to go back. There's another half an hour to be played." But yeah, look, he's just fantastic, Rean Linney, and you can tell. The confidence that's just pulsing through him. It's fantastic to see. It didn't start the game. I can imagine he'd have been angry about that. I know he wasn't dropped, and I know it was more of a rotational thing that Mark Hughes didn't play his real first choice 11. So it wasn't as if he'd been dropped, but playing against a team at a much higher level and an opportunity to prove that you can play against a team from a much higher level, I can imagine is something Rean Linney would have really enjoyed and would have been really disappointed not to have started in the game like that. He came on around the 70th minute, and there's not much more you can ask for from him, to be honest. There's a substitute hat-trick to win us the game against a team 2 divisions higher than us. It's immense. It's fantastic. Reading fans... If you're a Reading fan and going into the 90th minute, going into injury time, you're 2-0 up against a National League team, you think there's absolutely no way we don't go through here. And yeah, it's us in the hat for the second round on Monday. And that is absolutely fantastic. I love the FA Cup. I really wish I'd gone, and I really hope we get a decent home tie. Really good kind of away game. But you know what I mean? You want a good draw, don't you? And you want it to be at home because it's a lot easier to go to, and it's going to be a really good atmosphere at Brunton Park if we can get a good draw there. There's championship rounds in this next round, if I'm not mistaken. Now you can either hope for one of the poor National League or even below that are still in. I think Chelmsford got through to the next round. You look for either a game like that or a top championship side that's going to make for a fantastic game for a fantastic gate numbers. Personally, I'm hoping for Leicester. A good friend of mine's a Leicester fan, and I've never seen us play them while I've been watching Carlisle, so it'd be really nice to finally beat his team. So that's who I'm hoping for. But yeah, it's just, I absolutely love the FA Cup. I was really disappointed when we kind of treated it badly when we only opened one stand, and I think Reading did something similar. And I'm not a big fan of how the FA Cup's been degraded in that way. But what I will say, I'm really happy to go through the next round. I'm really happy to have got the story out of it, because that game, even for the players that didn't play, it's such a big mentality boost. It's such a big boost of confidence. Now, every game that we go into, even if we're losing 2-0 going into the last 5 minutes of a game, there's that belief and there's that evidence that we can get back into it. There's that kind of never say die, never surrender attitude that, we've proven now, and we're always now going to have that memory as a team that no matter what the score is, no matter how late on, we can get back into this. We can go on, score 2 goals in injury time. We can just push forward and we can get it done no matter how late we leave it. And that's a fantastic, fantastic mentality to have, and a fantastic thing to happen to a squad mentally. Especially when that's been a real issue in the last few years, of that kind of not really having that winning mentality that I think we now have. But yeah, Rean Linney, if we can keep him for the rest of this season, and look, he signed a 3-year contract in the summer. I know contracts in football aren't really worth the paper they're written on, but if we can keep him for at least the rest of this season, get Con Clark in, not even permanently, maybe just loan till the end of the season, we can keep those 2 firing. They've both said it already, they're wanting to go and win this title, and let's have a good cup run to go alongside that. Let's go and get a team like Chelmsford in the next round. And really push on going to the 3rd round against a decent Premier League club, and come up against a team like, it's the non-European sides, isn't it? So you've got the opportunity. Man United aren't in Europe this season. We could draw them in the next round if we can get through the second. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Either a Leicester or a big Championship team, or like a bottom end National League team that's still in it, or even below that. Those are the 2 options. I don't want to see another League 1 or a League 2 club getting drawn. But again, I really like watching the FA Cup draws, or the League Cup draws when we used to be in that competition. I love watching a good draw for a competition. It's a different, weird kind of excitement that I really enjoy. But yeah, fantastic result, fantastic game, fantastic story. And that's really all I can say. Just well done to the team, and let's just enjoy it. Let's really enjoy it. I've watched the highlights. 3 fantastic goals, particularly the 3rd one to win it. I thought was a really, really good finish from Rean Linney. Second one the keeper might have expected to save, but you don't know that. But yeah, well done to the team for getting through this. Fantastic performance. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.